Hey guys, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another series of Lunch and Loans with your loan officer, Natasha Robinson. So I'm going to give people a moment to come on in. We are live on several platforms. Just general house rules as always. Definitely ask all your questions. There's no such thing as a bad question. In addition to that, um, feel free to listen, learn, come back next week, come to our Mortgage Move Mondays, and utilize the information to be dangerous. Once again, I am Natasha Robinson, your loan officer, MLS number 332074. And today we are going to be talking about how to sell more loans with the loan programs, right? Of course, these are programs that are available through my lender. So there may be other programs out there, but these are the programs that I am offering so that way you can become aware of what is going on in the market. And just to give, I always have something that's not in the slide because I just got off the phone with a client and she has a interest rate with another bank. And this is the third time that this has happened to me in the past couple of weeks. And they have a much better rate than I offered. So I just happened to ask her to send me the loan estimate. And the lender was charging her an $8,000 for this said rate. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense for you to pay that much for a rate to save $38 a month, and the possibility of you refinancing may or may not be likely, right? But it's still $38. And in addition to that, a lot of the buyers are not looking at the points and fees. So just, you want to make sure that your client isn't just rate conscious, but how much does that rate cost is what they should be asking. So in this slide, we're talking about understanding the loan programs, but I want you to understand like the cost of a mortgage and, so you can guide your client, because a lot of the big name people, they are salespeople. And yes, I'm more of a salesperson today because of the market being tighter and us not having as many deals. But salespeople generally sell. Their job is to sell the client on going with them, whereas my fiduciary responsibility is to sell what makes sense to the client. So I'm not always going to sell your client on, let's just say, we have a down payment assistance program called Chenoa. And oftentimes, if the loan amount is 400,000, 350 to 400,000, the mortgage payment will end up costing about $300, $260 to $300 more because they're receiving a grant, right? So I've lost deals from that because I don't necessarily sell that program as much. Because if a client has a 401k, I know the money sounds like it's free, but it's absolutely not free. And as a matter of fact, if you take the amount of money it's costing you to get the free money, you sometimes end up paying more money for the free money, if you get what I'm understanding. So if you have no source, some of the higher interest rate opportunities does make more sense for the clients. However, if you don't have other opportunities, it might make sense for you to take the higher interest rate, because guess what? You're in the property. And now that you're in the property, you're able to gain equity. You're able to be put in a situation where you're going to pay that house off. You're no longer paying your landlord. So it's not 86 in the option. It's just going through what options you have as a borrower to determine what's best for you. Because what's best for John is not the same that's best for Jack, because everybody is in different situations. But oftentimes when you're in that situation, if you have a 401k, I had a client with a 401k with 200,000 in it. Well, I would rather her borrow 15,000 from her 401k, that the money she pays back is just going to go back to her 401k, versus to pay $291 a month. That's going to go to no one. So sorry to go left there, but at your clients, try to pay attention to how much it's costing them for that free money. And you can ask that by saying, what's the difference of if I got the free money and if I didn't? So you can look at closing costs and mortgage payment, and that's how you can help make the best decision if you have other options, right? So you want to help clients explore more options by knowing the financial solutions. That was one financial solution. What that does, it makes your client trust you. It makes your client feel like you not only are a realtor, but you understand and you have the best interests. I always tell all my realtors, buy a property. The best way that you can sell your services is to be a homeowner, because you've gone through the experience, you know what to expect, you know what it's like, and you're able to utilize your story through your process of working with the client, right? You want to empower those buyers with knowledge to overcome common concerns. knowing the basics and not just going off hearsay, I think is a really good way to empower your client, right? It helps you build trust by guiding the buyers towards the right mortgage solution. We don't want you to be the expert, right? We just want you to ask the right questions. If you see a lender that you've never heard of before, maybe, hey, why don't you get a second opinion with a lender that's more reputable and compare that loan estimate back to back, so that way you kind of know what's going on, right? And you want to strengthen your partnerships with your lenders, right? Lenders may help create good transactions. I provide a service to my realtors where I do call the listing agents. I let them know the client has been pre-underwritten, because that is the only way you'll get a pre-approval from Natasha Robinson, and that they have the assets and things that they need. They understand the mortgage payment. A lot of clients will make a lot of money and they have a lot of money and they know they qualify, but when they get the mortgage payment, oh, I didn't want to pay more than $1,600, and they're working with a $2,400 payment. Well, guess what? They need to be looking at a property that's $150,000 lower than that one, which is going to be a total different feel and total different house, right? Or a total different neighborhood, depending on the client and the agent. So you just want to make sure that they understand how much money they need and how much their mortgage payment is going to be before you start driving that client around and using your gas and your time to make sure that the end result is going to include a sale of a property, right? You guys should know the basic programs as realtors. So we have so many different programs. And I just ran through that slide, but I won't go back. But we have FHA, VA, conventional. We have non-conforming loans such as DSCR loans, bank statements. I am a renovation specialist. I offer FHA, VA, 2 different types of conventional loans. We do have OTC, one-time close. That is you actually having your client buy the land and build the property. So there's a lot of things that are going on out here. But I think as a realtor, and I actually have, if you want to DM me, just realtor, I can send you a realtor cheat sheet. And it basically has the basics on it. How long you can have bankruptcies, Chapter 7 versus Chapter 13. Foreclosure situations, what our loan limits are. So I have a cheat sheet, so you don't have to study it. You can just keep that at your fingertips, and it'll help you get through the finish line with your clients if you can't, if you need to have an immediate question answered. But I'm always available to help answer questions with you and your client as well. Helping borrowers overcome common concerns, right? A big concern with my clients is I don't have enough money to put down. The honest to God answer to that question is they really need to save some money. So if they can save about $3,000, it's income tax season. You just don't want to close on them and they have $55 left, and you're leaving with them with a property that is going to need the grass cut, that is going to have a furnace problem. So you definitely want to just make sure they have some money. But we do have different grant programs available, such as CHAC. They give $10,000 for people that are not in the program, the Section 8 program. And then they give $20,000 or help them pay their mortgage for 15 years. So that is a really good program right now. The loan limits are a little lower than normal, but it's a really good program. And then we do have the IDA. We just missed the Smart Buy. They were paying $40,000 in student loans. I have a couple of clients about to close on that right now. But IDA also has a $10,000, a $7,500, and a $6,000 grant. My Home Ready First grant, I can give you up to $7,000 towards down payment assistance on a conventional loan. That can be a 1 unit, a 2 unit, or a 3 or 4 unit property. So once again, great program. We do lunch and loans every Tuesday, and sometimes we do go over the down payment assistance in detail. But if you want a one-on-one, I can definitely get that to you, or I can get you a copy of one of the videos that we've done already if you want to know the specific details of each grant, right? Cook County Land Bank is giving a grant right now. If you see Sean, I think Bonita is another one that's out selling these beautiful properties that they acquired the land or the property from Cook County Land Bank. Cook County Land Bank will give them $20,000 in a grant funds to buy that particular property. So lots of opportunities, right? Another one is I'm worried about my monthly payments. We have different strategies. Like I had a client yesterday and I almost lost the deal because I priced them out as a regular conventional loan, but he qualified for the Home Ready First. And even though he didn't qualify for the $7,000, he did qualify for the $3,000, but most important, a lower interest rate. So for me, switching him from the Home Ready First program to a regular conventional, I was able to change his interest rate from 6.75 to 6.375, right? How amazing is that? So just being able to see what else is going on out there to try to lower payments. We can use grant money to pay down the rate. And then in addition to that, now arms are back out, right? So sometimes you can get a slightly lower rate to do a 5-year arm or a 7-1 arm. And what that does is that locks them in for 5 years, and then their rate will begin to adjust after that, okay? So you want to be able to explain strategies to manage the cost efficiently. I am self-employed. Can I get a loan? Absolutely. And sometimes people think like that you have to have 2 years tax returns. You don't always have to have that. Sometimes you can have 1 year. So for those who haven't, like me, filed 2024 yet, now you're in a situation where you can file your tax returns properly if you're one of those people that's just been writing things off because you don't want to pay the IRS. But you do need to ensure that you are filing what you claim, right? So you don't want to just go and say, hey, I need to buy a house, so let me make up $100,000 income. Well, you don't want to pay taxes on property just to find a house. We have to find another strategy for you. But if you make the money, you can get away with 1 year taxes. In addition to that, we have DSCR loans. They require a little more money down, but I've met a million clients and they have great 401ks. So you can do the DSCR loan. It doesn't care about your income. It just cares about your credit score, your asset. And if you're putting a tenant in that property, it wants to make sure it cash flows. And then we have bank statement loan programs where we can use your bank statements, take 70% of your income and help you get to the finish line as well. So once again, more strategy and opportunity for you, but it just helps you understand the concerns. And I know I do talk fast. I've been told that a lot. So I try to definitely slow down and make sure that you have it. But if I am talking too fast or you just need me to talk even slower to understand it, it's really great for you to just understand the core, right? My teammate does an agent boot camp. So we can work with you to help you just know the basics. And like I said, I have a cheat sheet that we're making to go out to all the agents where you just need to carry my cheat sheet around with you and you will never go wrong with your information. And I'm not going to say never. It's going to change every year. So you should be looking for me just like a calendar to get the new guidelines every year. Oh, that's a good idea, America. We can have an annual calendar with the guidelines. That would be awesome. These are different programs that we have. We didn't talk about the doctor's loan. We do have a doctor loan program where they don't have to pay any mortgage insurance or put any money down. The Chenoa we talked about that sometimes has the slightly lower interest rate. And then we also have the Home Ready First loan, which we talked about. So just a few programs that we have. And these are all flyers we can get you for your clients. So that way you can have something to hand to them in their hand, because that's always helpful to have a little bit of material for clients. Create financing solutions to close more deals. The seller closing cost assistance agents, I don't know, time and time again, you guys want a grant, a Chenoa grant, and you want to pay 9% for the interest rate, but no closing cost credit. You might as well, closing cost credit doesn't cost you anything. So if you can pay, if the property will price for 10 extra thousand, if a client pays 10 extra thousand over the purchase price, then they can get a $10,000 credit and the seller can still get the same bottom line and the borrower is not subject to a grant. But I hate when I see, and I'm not gonna say hate, but it's hard for me when I see a contract and we need down payment assistance, but we're not asking for any closing costs. The closing cost is the most inexpensive, cheapest, easiest, no home buyer program required option for you to help your buyers get to the finish line, right? You want to, if you have, they can get a co-signer, right? I talk to my clients all the time. They can have a non-occupying co-borrower. That's somebody that will not live in the property, but they will utilize their income to help them qualify. We have parent loans. If your kid is in a 4-year accredited university, you can purchase a home from them, a 1-unit property, and put 5% down in your own name. And your kid doesn't even have to be on the property. You're just basically buying them a property. That is a legal thing. And that is a creative way to get your kid into a property if they don't currently have the credit score or work, right? Seller to assume, new buyer to assume the loan, right? There's called assumption of loans on FHA. So oftentimes, like somebody that has a 2.87% interest rate, if you have some cash or 401k, you can ask to assume that loan so you can keep that rate. And then upon the assumption of you taking over that mortgage, like say for instance, they've been living there 15 years, You can come in and get their interest rate and the 15 years left on their mortgage, assume the mortgage, and you could just pay the realtor and them the cash for their profit. So I feel like that's something we're going to see a lot happening nowadays in this market, with other people being creative. But I'm very creative, so I have no problem with assisting you, with helping you creatively find your way to home ownership. Of course, as long as it's within the legal guidelines of the mortgage industry. Using knowledge to win, right? You want to let people know if you're marketing a home and it needs a renovation, stop accepting bids from people that don't have renovation. It needs work, right? It's not going to pass. So, like, why are we wasting time? And don't make your seller think they got to take less because the property needs repairs. It needs to be priced right, and it needs a renovation loan. And we can do that with the FHA renovation, VA renovation, or conventional renovation, right? We can promote affordability solutions. We can offer the lowest rate program. If you have new construction, we have builder rates that are cheaper than our regular rates, right? So you can offer the CHAC grant, and you can offer to say, hey, I'm selling this property and I will pay your buyer broker commission plus 3%. Those are ways to promote the property to get people to want to buy them, because borrowers can't afford broker commission today. Sometimes they can't afford the closing costs. Now the borrower has to pay a broker, they have to pay closing costs, and they have to put money down. So it's just getting more expensive, and they're paying more for the property. So we have to find creative ways to get around kind of what we have going on today, right? And work with your lender to educate clients about creative financing options. You want to see what's available. You want to pick somebody's brains. I'm not the only loan officer in the city that's creative, but I'm definitely one of them. And I definitely can assist you with coming up with strategic ways and ask the right questions. Like I said, to add a cosigner or to do a bank statement loan or come up with another strategy that'll work for your client, right? And present financing solutions during open houses. I always offer my open house services where we can come to open houses. I do ask my agents, if you have something that's way overpriced, we could just send you some financing flyers. But if you price your house right, I would love to show up, help you push it, and help you sell that property. No. Partnering with your lender for success, right? You want to involve your lender when you have a buyer. I just had a buyer today, and she was getting charged $8,000 for interest rate, and she wouldn't. I was able to find her through my own monitor services, but I'm going to save her about $4,000 because I call her, right? You can host a home buyer workshop. I have physical locations on 26th Street and in Lansing, Illinois, that you can utilize for free if you're hosting a home buyer seminar or some type of workshop to empower the client, right? We have financing flyers, our total expert you can sign into. I am a marketing genius and I love throwing events. So I can help you host an event and bring partners in to allow a free event. And then we have signage. If you have a property that needs a renovation, we can add our sign to the property to help you promote that property as well. So once again, we have a lot of different opportunities for you. So that way you can utilize them to grow your business and glow your business, as I would say. Here's some success stories. We had a buyer purchase a home with a 0% down VA loan. Not only was it 0% down, but we waive our closing costs, and the borrower was exempt from taxes. So I was able to not qualify them for the $23,000 taxes on the property in Olympia Fields, and it helped them qualify. But because he was a disabled veteran, he wasn't going to have to pay taxes. So I was able to manipulate that to assist with helping him qualify in the situation. I had another deal. I closed a deal with the 203K renovation loan. I do that all the time. When I say 203K, you should say all day, because we do that all the time. But I definitely was able to turn that property around and get it closed in less than 37 days. I always call listing agents to assist with the sale of the property. I have a situation right now. The client had 3 cash offers. My offer was $15,000 higher. He had good cash offers, so he was going to go with the cash offer. I basically told him, in 5 days, I can have an appraisal back. 5 days and get your clients $15,000 more dollars, and you be the hero. Now I'm waiting on them for condo. We have value. We're ready to close. His seller's going to get more money. My buyer got the property, and that would not have happened had I not initiated the phone call and made contact. This is a contact sport. I made contact with the agent, and I tried my best to save the deal and bring it on home to my client, and it actually worked out. pretty much that's what I have. I'm going to let you know what we have coming up next week. So we do have our lunch and loans for the agents. This is our builder program. It's showing you how you can utilize relationships with builders to grow your business, how we can lock loans for 12 months to 24 months, how we can give lower interest rates, how we can assist with credits to the borrower on behalf of the builder, how we can close some of these builder loans even though you're not finished with the driveway, or you may be waiting on the garden work to be done or the landscaping to be done. So this is going to be a great Zoom. I'm excited to see Jim next Tuesday. Other events that I have on the did I see? Oh, this is on the 24th. So I hope those events are not on the same day, but they might be, but they're at different times. But this event is on the 24th, and it's a renovation loan conversation. We're going to be going over all our renovation loan products. And then the month of April is Financial Literacy Month. So myself and business partners, Ebony Lucas and State Representative LaShawn Ford is going to be coming in to assist me and Ebony with the financial series. So through the month of April, every week they will be a series. One is going to talk about grants. We're bringing in banks to give you these resources. We're going to talk about retirement, and every panel, every event is going to have a panel, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a way that you can learn to set yourself up for financial freedom. But if you go to all of them, you should be pretty set up and ready to set yourself up for success for the entire year. We're going to talk about buying commercial real estate. We're going to talk about buying residential real estate, and we're going to talk about estate planning, which I am not doing a good job at. So that's something everybody should be doing a great job at when it comes to the estate planning. We had an event called Black Friday Reversed, and it was a success. Thank you for everyone that came. So now we're having our monthly meetings for that, and that is going to be 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday the 29th. And it's going to be at the Royal Bistro Live in Lansing, Illinois. It's free. Feel free to come by. It's going to be a networking event, have some fun, some cocktails, learn some information, and meet some great people. That's pretty much all I have for Lunch and Loans today. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can stay connected with me on Instagram at Loans by Natasha, Facebook, Natasha Robinson, and you can reach me at loansbynatasha.com. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I am your lender, and I can be reached anytime at 773-459-6811. And we will see you next Monday at 6 p.m. or next Tuesday on Lunch and Loans at 12 o'clock. Have an amazing day.